Hello, welcome back to Greyhack. So I just realized that in my last and first video, the beginnings, I didn't actually complete my contract. So I want to complete one of the first contracts here that you get in the game. This one is to modify a police record. You can pick these up obviously from your hack store. So I got one of these missions here. So it wants me to go to Jonas, that man, Jonas, and change his police record to be completely removed. So to start off with that, I'm going to go in and scan the public IP address for the computer device that he has provided us. So we see actually a lot of really, a lot of open ports and a lot of things for us to go and start trying to poke some holes into. So let me start doing so. First thing I've noticed is there's an SMTP port open. I want to see if I can find some sort of exploit for that. So we're going to 123, which is our version. So we're going to look up in the library of the SMTP service, version 1.23, find some exploits that are possibly out there. So we'll do that, and we're going to look really for a shell. And wow, that looks pretty great. We know that it is, does it say less than or equal to 3.16? Well, we'll find out. We'll do a little trial in there. So theoretically, if this, wait, did I change that to kernel? No, good. So, if this works, we should get a theoretically unauthenticated guest shell into the system, which would be wonderful because that would make our life way, way easier. So, let me save this file as is. I don't have to pay for it because I still have some coupons provided from Ortiz. Cool. Finished your download. Now let's pop into our terminal here. So this is labeled as what I saved it as. I'll grab my IP, and then you have to specify the port you want it to focus on, which is 25, which is the normal service. And voila, we actually were able to go in right away and get a guest shell. So with these guest shells, there's not actually a lot you can do. There's not a lot of access that you have. You can't go into someone's home directory like Lubby and then start editing things around. But you don't actually need to try and hack anymore for this particular problem if you don't want to. Big part of hacking is also a thing called social engineering, where you try to get a user on the other end of a device to do a certain thing for you. In this case, we have the whois information for this domain, and we know their email. And now we also know some people that work at the company because we're going to assume that people that have accounts on this device are working for the company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft an email to Peachy Fee and say, hey, I'm having some login issues. In the social engineering section of your email, by the way, they give you some prompts. So I'm just going to grab one of these names. I like Lubby. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm Lubby. I'm emailing you to say I can't really log in. What can you do for me here? I don't know what to do. So our lovely, super smart and intelligent system administrator sends us back our username and password for us. And here's how we own this mission. This is really simple. We're actually going to drop our shell connection here. We don't need to be logged into a guest shell anymore. Now, oh wait. Ha 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 ha. I was mistaken. My apologies. We do need to be, there is no SSH port here. If there is an SSH port, you can just SSH into as Lubby at Albert with the IP address. But since we have to go in, this is our access point here, we're going to have to do sudo-u, so change your user to Lubby. And then it's going to ask us for a password, so Albert. Wow, look at that. So now we are Lubby. So who am I? I'm Lubby. So if we do ls real quick, we'll actually see a police record.exe program. And to go in and actually change our contracts file, we need to access that program. So let us go and find Joanne. And he wants us to get rid of his record. There you go, bud. Save that. Get through here, and the best part is Lubby's gonna be the one that actually shows up here as the one that edited the record. But the problem is, if we look at our file explorer and we go to our var folder and then the system log, you'll see that our IP address, like if I come and do ifconfig, my local or my public IP address is saved actually in the server log folder, which means that if there's someone looking for me or looking to see what happened, who changed what, there's actually a quote unquote, well, not technically a paper trail, but some breadcrumbs for them to follow along. So we've completed our mission. Let me just quickly report that in and get some 150 bucks. Cool, customer's satisfied. Thanks, boss. Get rid of these. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave. And instead of doing the very verbose, clean, practical way of trying to cover up our tracks by, deleting a log folder or something else, I'm gonna do it the cooler way. And I'm actually gonna change Wi-Fi networks altogether and just say the one I'm currently on, rooting corny, is just burnt. So I'm gonna go and make sure that my WLAN 0 interface is on and monitoring. Wonderful. And now I'm gonna need to see the device information for the next one that I want to connect to, which is Parker. So we're going to use a program that comes pre-installed on these boxes for you, which is called Air Replay. And we're going to grab this information here. And what you'll see we're going to start doing is we're going to start intercepting packets from this network. And as we're intercepting them, we're really focusing on only the ACK packets where there's going to be a key we could go in and decrypt. And once we get enough of these packets, we can use them to compare against each other and crack the actual encrypted password that's attached to each one of these individual packets. So once we get enough, I'll come back and then I'll show you how to crack it. Very simple.